Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Kaya and I'm a 25-year-old girl living in Austin, Texas, and I'm really passionate about real estate investing. I currently have one rental property in Austin that used to be an Airbnb, and I used to be a Superhost as well. Now I've converted that rental unit into a long-term tenant, but I have a lot of insight for Airbnb that I want to share with you guys. If I were to start all over, this is how I would do Airbnb. Now these are all amenities that I think are super important for getting a 5-star rating on Airbnb and therefore becoming a Superhost. Let's dive right in, but right before we do, I do want to quickly say that if you haven't subscribed, I would so appreciate it if you did subscribe, because over 90% of my viewers aren't actually subscribed, and you definitely want to be subscribed because I'm uploading a lot of really great real estate content, especially Airbnb content. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would be wonderful. But anyway, let's jump in. So this is the most important amenity that I think every single Airbnb needs to have, regardless of your demographic, regardless of where your Airbnb is located, you need to have this. And that is a good old Instagrammable moment. You may be thinking, what does that have to do with a 5-star rating? But let me explain. Guests love a good photo op, especially if they're traveling for vacation, which most of them are. They say that first impressions are everything, and in my experience, that is absolutely true. You want your guests to walk in and be like, whoa, this is so cute, this is so fun, this is so exciting. You want to have a really great lasting first impression of the stay and the decor, because that will kind of atone for any slip-ups that may happen during the guest stay. Not only will guests have a great first impression of your property, but after they leave, they'll also have a great lasting memory of your property, and they'll probably share your listing with other friends. Guests will definitely share your listing with their friends, and word of mouth is an excellent marketing tool for spreading the word about your listing. The more traffic you get to your listing, the more it gets bumped up on the Airbnb listing page and you get more bookings. Also, can I just say that having an Instagrammable moment makes your listing stand out, because you can make it the first photo of your listing, so like the thumbnail basically, that someone will see first when they click on your Airbnb listing. A really cool photo will make someone more likely to click on you, and standing out is everything at Airbnb. So you might be wondering what some examples of this might be, and it doesn't have to be expensive. Some examples include like a really cool custom neon sign. I've seen these for as cheap as $100 on Etsy or on eBay. You can do a really cool mural in your backyard if you do have a backyard, and this is very easy to DIY. You can go for a cool accent wall in the living room or a bedroom, or you can even do like a fun sculpture in the backyard or in the living room. Just something that makes people stop in their tracks or stop scrolling on Airbnb and be like, huh, that's pretty cool. Having an Instagrammable moment in your Airbnb, I promise you, will make people so much happier with their stay, and they will spread the word to their friends and you'll get more bookings. Now, the second amenity that you need to have for a 5-star rating, and this is not up for debate, okay? This is not up for debate. It's keyless entry. No guest wants to fuss with keys or a lockbox. No one wants to do that. You don't want to do that. Your guests don't want to do that. It's a no. Guests want easy access, and this is pretty unlikely if you have keys, because what if the guest loses it? Now that's a huge liability on your behalf. You have to change the locks, and the guest needs the keys to get back into the Airbnb. So this becomes a huge liability, and not to mention a massive pain in the ass. Now, I identified this right away with my own Airbnb property, and I decided to install a Schlage smart lock. These are really helpful. I will link the exact one that I have down below. It's still in my property, and it's actually in my current house that I live in right now, because personally, I just don't like keys. What's cool about this particular smart lock from Schlage is that it connects to your Ring app. If you have a Ring doorbell, for example, you can connect it to your Ring app, and then you can reprogram the access code from your phone. You don't have to sit there and go to the property and reprogram the code on the keypad. You can just do it on your phone, which is so nice. So for my Airbnb, I have a code for myself, I have a code for the housekeeping team, and I have a code for the guests. I will link the exact lock that I have in the info box down below, so you can shop that one for your own Airbnb. I haven't had any issues, and it's been really great. Now, this next amenity is something that might be a little more specific to my particular area, which is Texas, but having some sort of functional outdoor space, especially one that has a fire pit, grill, or pool. Now, I will speak to living in Texas. It's very hot here. It's actually 106 degrees outside right now. It's quite hot. That being said, if you don't have a property with a pool and you're like, I don't really want to spend $50,000 to install an in-ground pool into my Airbnb, never fear. I found a great company that actually does cowboy pools, which are really popular now on Airbnb. It's basically an above ground pool that's in a stock tank. So it looks really cool, it looks really rustic, It gives you that Instagrammable moment that I was talking about, but it doesn't break the bank. It's about as cheap as $2,000 and you can get more expensive the bigger that they get. But like I said, an outdoor space is super important for groups to hang out. Families use them, friend groups use them, people use them to entertain and to have fun in their backyard. Now, some absolute necessaries that you should have in your outdoor space: seating, tables, possibly umbrellas. The extras would be a fire pit, a grill, or a pool. The cowboy pool is such a cool idea. I kind of want to put one in my current house. The principle still stands that having a functional outdoor space is really important to making sure that you get a 5-star rating. Just one thing to keep in mind though, just check on how your insurance will change if you add any of these features. The fourth amenity that you need to have 100% is fast internet. And Airbnb has a feature now where you can measure your internet speed within Airbnb, and what it'll do is list your exact internet speed into your Airbnb listing. So it's like verified in a way. Like there's no way to lie about it because it literally measured it. So yeah, having high-speed internet is really critical, especially with more and more people working remotely now. You never know when you're gonna have someone who has a full-time job and is maybe working remotely for the week. You gotta have high-speed internet. Luggage racks and hangers. This is one that I actually haven't seen a lot in Airbnbs, but this is really important. Have like maybe 10 hangers in every closet and have one collapsing luggage rack per room. This is a very underrated amenity because imagine this, you're in town for a wedding, for example, and you open the closet and you have nowhere to hang your nice suit or your nice dress. Then what? You should also definitely have an iron and a collapsible ironing board. It doesn't have to be big or anything. They sell really cute, small, compact ones on Amazon, which I'll link a couple down below. You need to definitely have these amenities for your guest clothing because outfit picks are everything. So the next one is an amenity that's not totally necessary, but guests will really appreciate this, and that is pillows of differing softness and extra blankets. Guests really care about comfort, and at the end of the day, they are coming to stay at your Airbnb to sleep. They are there to sleep. So having a really comfy mattress, a really comfy bed. Here's a insider tip. IKEA actually makes great mattresses. I'll link the one that I have in my Airbnb. It's like a medium to firm one, and people always wrote in their reviews that the beds are super comfy on my Airbnb. So I highly recommend that particular IKEA mattress that I'll link down below. And the pillows thing, everyone has a preference for what kind of pillow they like. Target has really cheap pillows. I believe they're under $5 per pillow, and it has varying softness. And you can brag about that in your Airbnb listing and say that we have extra blankets and we have pillows of varying softness and firmness for your comfort. It just shows that you go the extra mile and you really do care for the guest comfort. On the topic of pillows, this is a really great hack, but if you are trying to decorate your Airbnb or furnish your Airbnb in a very lean, cheap way, a great way to spice up any boring bedroom or spice up a boring living room is to add cheap decorative pillows. It's a very inexpensive way of filling the space and adding some extra color, some extra dimension or texture. It makes the space look a little more spicy. The seventh amenity that you definitely should have is hair dryers, because I genuinely can't remember the last time that I personally traveled with a hair dryer. I just expect my hotel or my Airbnb to supply a hair dryer. Hair dryers come in many different sizes and forms. What I can personally recommend is a mounted hair dryer that physically goes on the wall and cannot be stolen. I have had many a hair dryer stolen from my Airbnb, and I will say that if you can't get your hands on a mounted hair dryer, what also works is just kind of marking up the hair dryer, like write the property address on it or put like a little sticky label on there that says, if you love this hair dryer and you take it, you will be charged for it. Something along those lines. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, my leg is falling asleep because I'm sitting on the floor. The next amenity that you'll definitely wanna have, regardless of if you have a rustic cabin or a beach house, you're gonna need a smart TV. You don't have to supply the login information, so you don't need to have like Netflix accounts for your Airbnb, but you do need to have some sort of like Roku TV or a smart TV that has the ability for the guests to log in with their own credentials and access Netflix, Hulu, whatever. Most guests will want to unwind with some Netflix after a long day or watch the football game, so having a smart TV is going to save you a lot of headache from guests who want that amenity. Number 9, we're coming up on the end. I promise, stick around till the last one because the last one is actually a really good one. Now, number 9 is a coffee machine and actual coffee. Please do not have a coffee machine and no coffee. Guests will hate you. This is really important. You need to have a reliable, easy to clean kind of like an idiot-proof coffee machine. I will link the one that I use in my Airbnb and at my own house down below. It's really reliable, it's great to use, and it looks nice on the countertop. You should also have coffee filters, little creamer packets, little sugar packets, anything that you would want for your coffee, you should also provide to your guests. You can even go the extra mile and provide little disposable styrofoam cups with lids. I have that in my Airbnb and guests really like that. Consider having like a local coffee brand in your Airbnb. I have a local coffee brand from Austin that's in my Airbnb and people really like it. All right, we are at the last amenity that you need to have, and that is basic cleaning supplies. Now, you can't expect your guests to completely clean after themselves, do the laundry, mop the floors after they leave. Trust me, you will want to provide basic cleaning materials to your guests. Now, by basic, I mean like a vacuum, a broom and dustpan, wipes, some sort of disinfecting spray, something very basic so that if a guest, for example, spills a bowl of soup on the kitchen countertop, they have a reliable, easy way to clean it up, and then you don't have to clean it up. It's natural for guests to make messes, and they actually do clean up after themselves for the most part if you give them the tools. If your Airbnb has a kitchen as well, I do think it's worth it to provide like little dishwashing pods if you have a dishwasher, also dish soap if someone wants to hand wash something, and soap and sponges. So basically anything that you need to kind of carry out your normal life in a house, you need to have. It's less work for your cleaning team once the guest leaves, and guests will really appreciate it too. So those were all the amenities that I think are very important to an Airbnb. If I had to start over with Airbnb, I would definitely start with these because these are really essential for getting 5-star ratings. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up and commented down below what video you'd like to see next. I think my next video is going to be about Airbnb automation, so how to automate your Airbnb business so that you can travel and live freely without having to be tethered to where your Airbnb is. Did you agree with most of these amenities, or were there any amenities that I definitely missed and I should have included? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I usually respond to all my comments, so I look forward to chatting with y'all. But anyway, thanks y'all for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.